through. In that 97 Cutlass, strolling through the ad. Bass booming, it's a party inside the slab. It's whatever, baby, you could put it on a tab. Blessings in the wind, shall I see it, then I grab. Ay. Probably with the set, making bangers. Spare time, we be ride swingers. Pushing on them gears, pushing on them gears. Out here, and we swinging. Watch for the scanners, watch for the scammers. We be setting standards, we be setting standards. Only going forward, ain't no going backwards. Anytime we in the booth, it's a fire hazard. Put some Dayton's on it, now they hating on it. Supreme clientele, they was waiting on it. Pontiac, Firebird flying on them. I got a need for speed, I'm a Florida on them. Gran Turismo, running game on them. This is custom kitted, whip the paint on them. Forza Motorsport, change lanes on them. Twisted metal gang, throw the flame on them. Hey, probably with the set, making bangers. Spare time, we be ride swingers. Pushing on them gears, pushing on them gears. Out here, and we swinging. Watch for the scanners, watch for the scammers. We be setting standards, we be setting standards. Only going forward, ain't no going backwards. Anytime we in the booth, it's a fire hazard. Woke up feeling blessed, I ain't dealing with no stress today. Staying to myself, cause I won't let them get the best of me. We been pushing forward, we ain't focused on what's yesterday. They wanna know the formula, can let them know the recipe. Whoa, metal to the floor, hear the engine roar. Pull the top down on the two doors. You can't push no buttons in this new car. Can't let them push our buttons, we came too far. Sometimes you gotta remind them what you do it for. We done came up, we was too poor. Got the butters on the feet, we from New York. They can feel it in our body, know we too pure. We was too mature, way before 24. I got kicks up in my closet that I never wore. We was down bad, now check the new score. They know it's ISO to the indie, we the new norm.
97 Cutlass, strolling through the aisle. Bass booming, it's a party inside the slab. It's whatever, baby, you could put it on a tab. Blessings in the wind, shall I see it, then I grab. Ay. Blessings in the wind, shall I see it, then I grab. Ay. Blessings in the wind, shall I see it, then I grab.
Ay. Probably with the set, making bangers. Spare time, we be ride swingers. Pushing on them gears, pushing on them gears. Out here, and we swinging. Watch for the scanners, watch for the scammers. We be setting standards, we be setting standards. Only going forward, ain't no going backwards. Anytime we in the booth, it's a fire hazard.
Give me the loot. Might lose some battles, but winning the war. I get knocked down, I get back up. Get up and go, I stay ready for more. Go toe to toe till I level the score. Never gon' quit. Heard you seen some, but you never seen this. Bet on myself, 8 times, no trick. Just give me the loot. See now we going high stakes. This ain't clickbait. This a risk take, this no mistake. I was born to do it. I was born for music, I just get into it. I can't get influence when I'm the influence. No genre music. We go rap back to pop, pop back to rap. Country on the track. I was once broke.
Hey, all work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Hey, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for wherever, I'll be front and center. Don't fly too close to the sun, your body chopped up by propellers. Came in arrogant, but left out in a stretcher. The comparison, y'all know y'all couldn't replicate it. Chilling in the desert, I'm good under pressure.
Stick around, let me hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
From the ground, let me to the clouds, never coming down.
Welcome to the official podcast of PHP Architect. Join us to listen to the latest news and tech talk from our conferences, the magazine, and wider PHP community.
All right, let's do this again. It's hot. It's hot in here. I might pass out. All right. You're listening to the official podcast of PHP Architect. This is episode 2025.05.26.
.06.26.
What? 06.26. I'm one of your hosts, Eric Van Johnson, and with me is John Congdon.
The date czar.
You're so specific about your dates, John. The podcast focuses on on all things PHP and web development. We also talk about the larger PHP community and the general life of being a developer. And of course, we're going to talk about our business, PHP Architect, the magazine, the books, the conferences, and whatever else happens to float our boat at that time. We record every Thursday live at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We want you to join us in our Discord at discord.phparch.com and be part of that live show. And you can give us things to talk about, and you can make fun of us while we mess up. That's always that seems to be a popular thing. We want to thank our partners over at Honey Badger for making the podcast a little better. Are we still doing that whole thing? Yeah. Okay. Honey Badger helps you deploy with confidence and be your team's DevOps hero by combining error, uptime, and performance monitoring in one simple platform. It's free to get started. Takes a few minutes to set up. You can be the hero your team needs. Suit up at honeybadger.io, who we'll talk about a little later. Try to mix it up a little bit today, John.
Good job. You did it.
Now, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've been getting a nice little trajectory of new signups or new subscriptions, and we like to see it. It helps us figure out what people want to hear and what we should talk about.
Which turns out it shouldn't be us.
That probably really should not be us. We got Chris and Jeff in Discord saying hi already. Hi, guys.
Hello. All right.
If this is your best hour of the week, Chris, things are looking bleak for you, man. You might want to get some therapy.
He's kidding. Chill.
What's going on? We haven't talked in a while.
A couple days. Well, it's been a while. What have you been up to? How's your house? Any resolution there yet? Still
no
blowing?
Resolution. I'm going to be calling my insurance. It makes me nervous. I have not heard from them yet. So I'm still in disrepair. So yeah, that's kind of where not really changing a lot. Although I might be getting a new office. The wife and I have been talking about it and thinking about moving me.
Moving you where? Upstairs?
Another state.
She's like, you're too close to me. Get away.
Just move me to another part of the house that has some actual airflow. But we'll see how it goes. There's like so much. It's one of those situations right now. Like I don't even want to be home. Like it's just irritating every time I go and walk out into our living room area because like everything is out there. Like I'm about to start putting things back in closets and stuff, even though there are no walls and no floor, just because I can't stand looking at them in my living room. They're driving me crazy. But that's my problem, John. It's not your problem.
No, not my problem.
How was the meetup yesterday, man? I missed the local user group meetup. How'd it go?
Dude, it went so well. Small turnout. We only had 6 people. We also didn't do a very good job promoting it. Like we put it on Meetup, and I saw you posted it to PHP X World and put information up there, which we had some traction on. Somebody posted in the PHP X Discord channel replying to us. He there last night.
Okay.
So I think there was 6 of us there, but Marcus did an outstanding job presenting. He's so laid back and casual, like as he's talking,
hmm
a good job, and it just turned into a really good conversation. Like just, and it's one of those things. He was talking about testing, adding testing to your legacy app, um, and I do unit testing, but there's still things he said that I was like, that's a good idea. I like how you do that. So that collaboration where just because you do something doesn't mean you can't learn a new trick or something.
hmm
I think what hit me was his testing paradigm as far as when he's going to write a test. He kind of stubs out. Like, first, he's going to make sure he has tests around permissions. You know, does this user have access to it? Does this type of user, because, you know, we have different types of users, roles, whatever your use case is. Make sure there's tests around that, tests around validation, making sure whatever input's going in is getting validated properly, and then worries about testing each method. And I just thought it was a really nice way to do it, because there's so often I write my tests, test the happy path, don't always test the sad path. So yeah, we added in there cannots, like what should you not be able to do with this, and then finally, what can you do with this method? So
Right.
just interesting.
He's a smart cookie, man. I always knew that about the guy.
Yep. So all in all, it went really well. It was fun. I got to teach them a little bit about PHP Storm and using the task server and GitHub from within PHP Storm, just because if you're using all those pieces, they work really well together. So, because he was another one that jumps out to a different Git UI or GUI application,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to show like if you do all of those things in PHP Storm and use all those pieces together, like so much of the work is kind of automated for you.
Sure. Art Lung. I guess he is he a
Yep.
local?
Yep, he was there. He was there last night.
All right.
Yeah.
In our Discord, and Kevin. Hi. Yes, people
Kevin.
use Pest, especially if you're working in Laravel, not because it's better, but because it just adds some syntactical sugar to PHP unit for people who are used to working in Laravel. So no wrong answer there.
Chris prefers Pest. I've tried using Pest and I prefer PHP Unit, but again, I've been using it for so long that that's just what I'm used to.
Right.
At the client I work on, all the developers want a showdown between Andy and Tim, Andy Snell and Tim Lytle, because one
Knives. I want to say no. We're not talking about knives. We're talking about coding, aren't we?
Possibly Knives.
All right.
Like we want to put them into a ring and have them see who comes out on top. One is definitely in Camp PHP Unit Mock, and one is in Camp Prophecy. And we have, I forget how many tests we're up to now, like 40,000 tests, but it's a mixture of PHP Unit Mocks and Prophecy. And for me, it's whatever I'm feeling that day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was big into Prophecy for a long time, and lately I've been using more PHP Unit Mocks, and it's just, yeah, it's interesting.
I feel uncomfortable. I feel like my T-shirt needs some explaining. At this angle, the T-shirt looks a little inappropriate. I'm feeling very self-conscious about this T-shirt. It's actually an elephant, and it says your argument is irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, irrelevant. So I keep trying to pull it up so you can see that it's a whole elephant there. There's not just like this. Like, whatever you think's happening there is not actually happening. It's this whole thing. It's the whole picture.
Does it start with an E? E, and I can't say it. Like, I'm not going to say the word, but it starts.
God. Oh my God. Chris is a camp mockery guy. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. It's grown on me a lot more too, so that's what I've been using.
Good. I don't know. I haven't been doing the coding I've been doing is like a secret little side project. I mean, not secret little side project. You know what it is. I've been trying to work on redoing PHPArch.com, and of course, it's like I made the decision this week that I'm done. Like I'm not going to mess with the look of it anymore because I can't get happy with it. I need to get. There's a lot of functionality in migration of data I need to get done before I can even worry that much more about the look and feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I started writing like these commands to like migrate stuff over from the legacy database into a new database and seeing if I like how that data structure is and making sure we're grabbing all the data we need. And yeah, so I don't know. It's just daunting, man. It's like
that's why it hasn't been done. We've been wanting to do it for years now. It's not a small undertaking.
But making some progress at least. I got my first like table migration done. I was actually happy with how well it went. So hopefully that gives me enough inspiration to move forward. But yeah, everything going on in my personal life right now, and not just the house, but like just things with family and stuff. I just can't, man. I'm breaking down as a human being. I just, yeah, I'm getting there. Work's going good though. Team is just crushing it lately. The whole team. I tell you, man, it's been such a game changer bringing Joe on to focus on operations, sysops, that it's really freed up Kaylin, who had been doing it like half and half, and so Frank as well. And I don't know. Now everybody's starting to find a groove.
Just having that dedicated person that can watch things, and the client has been super happy as far as knowing that there's somebody watching, and because that's what he focuses on when he makes a recommendation, it seems to mean more than when you, myself, or Kaylin made a recommendation. like we said the same thing 2 years ago and you didn't want to do it. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, and what's really cool is now when they make requests, they do a lot of selling of a product, and they were curious. They're like, during our peak time, how much are we selling? I'm like, all right, well, I mean, we can figure that out. And I'm like going through my head how to do it. I'm like, oh shit, Joe can do this. Joe, Joe, look at the hours where the servers are at their peak, specifically the database server. Look at the hours where the database server is at its peak. Go grab those purchases from the database and let me know what that number is.
I still don't like their approach as far as when they know there's a specific selling season, they want us to scale up the servers like way too high. Like, and I know it's their money, let them do what they want with it, but it's still like, but that's not where our bottleneck is, and I don't think that's the way to do it.
Well, and I think Joe's going to help with that as well, right? Because now that we're not as responsive to the environment as proactive, right? Where we're keeping a good eye on loads and how servers are behaving, and that's Joe's focus. So I think the client's kind of still getting comfortable with the fact of, okay, we have Joe now, so if things go really crazy, Joe can hit a button and scale for us. But yeah, they've had some rough years where things didn't scale fast enough, and it was a bad experience for their customers, and they weren't happy. So it's always been that, well, let's be rather safe than sorry, because during these crazy selling periods, there's the scale issue, right? Which is fine, but there's also like any issues with the application need to be addressed immediately. So all the developers have to be hands-on and be ready to respond to problems. And that's where we were like, we weren't coming up short, but that's where we were really feeling not having somebody who could just focus on the environment. And it was you, me, and pretty much Kaylin who were trying to figure out, okay, we're trying to prioritize between bug fixes and infrastructure issues and who needs to deal with what. And I think so. I feel like I feel like once we get through a couple of busy seasons now that we have, Joe, that comfort will grow, and eventually it won't be like this, better safe than sorry sort of situation.
I don't recall when adding machines from like when we auto scale one in. Are we doing anything special? Like, are we rebuilding a new machine, or is it really just start a machine up and it should be ready to go?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's all AWS Elastic Beanstalk.
Right, I know, but sometimes those services are spin up a generic AMI, then you got to bring in the code, you got to run Composer, you got to run npm. Like, are we building it on every single deployment, or do we have?
I believe that's the whole workflow. Yeah.
So that's why it's slow to add resources when we need them.
I mean, it's not. It depends on your definition of slow. I mean, it's not instantaneous, but yeah, it takes a couple minutes for a new server to spin up. So it's not an hour or 2 hours. It happens.
No, I didn't. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking an hour, 2 hour, but I was almost thinking. So for the PBX servers that we run, every time I push to the main branch, it actually builds a brand new AMI.
Mm-hmm.
So now launching a new instance is literally launch that AMI and you're done. So I don't know if that saves any time in provisioning or building. Joe is saying that AMI spins up and does basic provisioning and is pretty fast.
Yeah. Yes, that is the Joe we're talking about, Chris Miller. Joe Ferguson, who was suspiciously absent at Tech this year. I'm not gonna say why.
It's probably a good thing. You would have hung out with Prompt way too much.
This is true. We might not want to. Matter of fact, we shouldn't have any of the guys going to conferences.
We're joking. Send your people to conferences. We just like to give people a hard time. That's what we do.
Yeah, so I mean, everything's going well. Again, that client's things are starting to get busy for them, but it's going good. Trying to convince another client to let us bring on some more talent. We have some people we have our eyes on who we're trying to make a budget for, and I don't know. They're being difficult. I don't know.
Just let go of your money and give it to us.
Just give us all your money.
That's what I gotta tell them. Hey, we podcast. Give us your money, and they'll be like, "Here you go."
Or we'll talk bad about you. Yeah.
Kevin's asking, is it just me, or does it seem DevOps jobs are disappearing and software engineering jobs are growing? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Is it because you're talking about we're going backwards towards dedicated ops, dedicated dev versus combining them?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Maybe. I mean, I definitely think that with the explosion of cloud, there's not as great of a need for dedicated ops. I mean, it was different. Like when I worked in the enterprise, and we were literally responsible for 724, 365 of our servers in our data center, and managing, every aspect of the hardware from racking and stacking to cooling and I mean, our team was much larger than it would need to be today. And then you put on top of that these solutions like Docker, where you're not doing full OS installs and trying to host a bunch of things, and you just spin up a Docker container and it's there. And so
I miss those days though. Back when I had a server room with like 4 racks full of servers, I had my own T1 lines coming in. I got to manage the routers, manage those connections. It was fun. Like I learned a ton. I got to do some really fun things. But at the same time, it was a pain in the ass when you had to go in at 1 o'clock in the morning because the hard drive died.
Yeah. We I mean, and I got exposed to so much stuff. I remember when we got big IPs, which was this smart router thing that was all the rage for a while, and it's like just stuff like that. Like I just would never have been exposed to those sort of things had I not had that position. And yeah, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I mean, it was tough, like when you wanted to go on vacation and people had to cover for you and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I can't say I miss it, but I did enjoy my time in the data center. It was whenever things got to be like too much, like with meetings and stuff, I'd be like, oh yeah, I got a thing I got to take care of over the data center. I just go over there and just work on my servers.
I liked going in the room and just listening to the whir.
the hum. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We had the old, these tape backups and oh gosh, man. In the arrays of drives. And
yes, we're old.
Yes, we're very old.
And we got to do some of that stuff. I remember when our RAID array grew to 1 terabyte. It was like we had 1 terabyte and it was amazing.
It's like, we're never gonna need anything more than this. Man, and it was expensive too. Holy God, was it expensive?
It was.
Man. All right. So yeah, meetup went well. We probably should say some love to wait, what do we got here? Yeah, whatever, dude. Why do you have my icon? What's happening? What are you talking about? Let's take a word from our sponsor, Honey Badger.
When your app breaks in production, you want to quickly understand and fix it, not sift through the logs for the next hour. That's where Honey Badger comes in. Honey Badger notifies you of errors, outages, and performance issues as they occur and helps you respond instantly when your systems go down. When you need to dig deeper, Honey Badger's advanced query engine helps you reach into your logs and grab just the information you need. With error tracking, performance and uptime monitoring, log management, and support for over 10 languages, Honey Badger is the best tool to gain real-time insights into your application's health and performance. Best of all, it's free to get started, and setup takes less than 5 minutes. Be sure to bookmark honeybadger.io. That's www.honeybadger.io. Thank you, Honey Badger.
All right, so we have a magazine released or what?
We do. As Christopher Miller points out, looks like Discord is not posting up in Restream right now for some reason.
Well, oh, really?
It is now. I don't know what happened.
I didn't see it drop. Oh, sorry.
There are 2 messages in there that didn't get posted up in here for some reason. But
I might have banned him. I don't know. He irritates me. He's got that funny accent.
Yeah, probably. One of his jokes too, though. Oh yeah. So as of today, we have the June issue of PHP Architect magazine out. Happy birthday, PHP!
Happy birthday, PHP!
A couple of great articles in there. I mean, they're all great, but I sat down and I went through Eric Mann's Security Corner again because I had fun last month actually copying and pasting the code into terminal, running it, playing with it. I mean, like, just as a refresher of how public-private keys work, especially when it comes to HTTPS, right?
Right.
And then this one just takes it to the next level, showing you the math involved in getting to elliptic curves.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
yeah, I gotta give that a read. Yeah, some good.
been a fun read. And then I read Yelling at Clouds, Chris's article, and very interesting because I get it. Becoming a manager is not fun. And it's not something I ever really wanted to do. Kind of have to having a company, but I often was like, arm's distance. I want to code, and I still get to code, obviously, on a daily basis. So, just a very interesting read on how a couple of places he's worked has dealt with that, and he's another one of those guys. He doesn't want to go into management. He just wants to code, do his thing, solve problems, but doesn't want to be stagnated because oftentimes you have to go into management if you want a pay increase or to,
I was just
continue your
say,
career.
especially if you're working again in enterprise, it's frowned upon to not want to become a manager. Yeah, I remember. I'm like you. Like I never particularly cared to be a manager. It didn't seem, budgeting and meetings didn't really seem to be my speed. I just wanted to do what I was doing and be happy doing it. But yeah, it's very much frowned upon. And there are people who are just the opposite. Like they applied for every manager's role, and they just wanted to get out of just being a grunt basically. And but yeah, it's weird, man. It's super weird. And yeah, I mean technically I guess we're managers now, but it's not the same. Like yeah, I don't know. I mean,
you're way better at it than I am. You are so
really
much better at it.
No, but
really
yeah, I can I need to read this because I can definitely appreciate where he's coming from. And I always thought it was funny the people who look down on people who don't want to become managers, because I'm like, I used to always think it's like, hey, it's not the work you guys are doing that's making the company money, it's the work that developers are doing. Like you think you guys are way easier to replace than the developers are. They have a skill set. You're just managing people. Is used to be my thought. Now there are people who will disagree with me. No, being a good manager is a skill set. Sure. Sure it is. But
there are good and bad managers, yes, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I get where he's coming from. I can appreciate that.
You give me a good backlog and I'll just work. Just
right.
Give me stuff to do, I'll just do it.
Yeah. So what hot topic? I know it came up last month and I did it again this month and I haven't released it yet. I don't know if you listened to it, but I made an AI generated podcast based on this month's magazine.
Did you? I did.
I don't understand why people don't like these. Like, it sounds good to me, and they do.
Where'd you release it at?
It's in general.
Oh,
I think it's in general, right? Isn't that where I put it?
You probably did.
Yeah, it's in general from this morning.
Oh, this morning. Okay.
So yeah, give it a listen. I mean, it's the same people. Well, it's the same voices from last month.
Oh yeah, I see it there.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really what I wanted this podcast to be initially.
Oh, in Slack general. I'm looking in Discord general.
Oh yeah. I haven't released it to the public yet. No.
Yeah.
Slack general. Yeah, it's really what I wanted this podcast to be, as far as hey, we're just talking about the magazine, what was released, why it's important. But then we realized, well, that's good for like one podcast a month,
right?
So yeah, I think I want to keep. I mean, if you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it. Skip it. Do whatever you need to do. But I'm going to keep releasing it for a while, at least until it stops being free. Then we'll have to reevaluate.
I'm gonna check it
All
out
right.
because I enjoyed it last time.
And if you're ever interested, we are always looking for contributors to the magazine. We have our regular contributors, people like Eric Mann, Chris, Tankersley, and Hargens.
And Miller.
Uh,
We have a
yeah.
lot of Chris's.
Oh, and Miller. Yeah. That's right. Chris. Oh, yeah. You got to dial it back up on the Chris's.
If your name is
Okay.
Chris and you want to write for the magazine, let us know.
But we do take 2 feature articles a month from the community, for like anybody in the community. And again, it's just like one of those things like you don't think anybody's interested in something you have to share, but you'd be surprised. So we're pretty nice. We help you through the process and make it very easy. And the coolest thing of all, we pay for it. You can make a little coin, make a little cash on the side.
Yeah.
So
Marcus did a good job last night. He actually had a slide in there and gave me the floor for a few minutes to talk about writing for the magazine and the conference. And it was like, oh, it was really nice of you to think about that.
Cool. All right. You got anything else to talk about?
I was going to let you go through some of your stuff first.
Yeah, I'm debating what I want to tackle here. Let's hit this one. We'll hit this one. Actually, let's talk about this real quick. No, let's not. Let's talk about that last. Okay. Let's talk about this one. Laminis. The framework formerly known as Zen framework. I believe the first PHP framework, which really was a true powerhouse back in the day. Zen, if you're not familiar with all the history, was the reason why PHP was able to get into certain niches of the enterprise. It's how I got it into the company I was working, because there was very much this sense of we need to be able to hold somebody responsible for the tools we're using, right? So, before I started my open source initiative, we were very much a Microsoft shop, because Microsoft, had their servers, their web server, everything was that, and I had to slowly introduce open source solutions and justify on how we can have SLAs for these solutions. So Red Hat became our Linux distribution, because Red Hat was that. It gave you SLAs for your servers. Zen is how I got PHP into my company, because we signed an SLA with Zen that they would be there to support us if we had an issue. Not to mention, Zen also had a bunch of tooling around the servers themselves for optimization and all this other cool stuff. So they released a framework, which back in the day, I thought, that's it. Like, we're going to switch completely over to Zen, to Zen, because they have this framework now. I don't have to convince the higher ups that we should code solutions in PHP, because it was still like cowboy coding back then. There was no structure. Everybody kind of went at it a different way. And with a framework, I could say, here's the framework. It never took off, unfortunately, but and eventually Zen kind of they didn't leave. They're still around, but they stopped supporting the framework. The framework became completely open source, which is this. How'd you say it? Laminis.
That's how I say it. I don't know.
Right.
But I think where Zen struggled was I'm surprised that Laravel didn't do the same thing early on. It was when they went from one major version to the next, and it was such a huge change. It became really hard to keep up. And it was even harder back then, because that was in the PHP 4 or 5 days, right? Where the upgrade path was so hard already. And
no composer, none of that stuff.
Right. So when you were going from Zen 1 to Zen 2, I mean, I think we still have a book on it. I don't know if I have it up here, but literally there was a book you would buy just to help you with that transition.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and unfortunately, so the news story is it's going away. It's being retired. The Laminus project, I guess. I'm sure
I don't know if is it the project or just the MVC part of it, because they have a ton of libraries.
That's true. Yeah, I guess it is just the MVC. It does say discontinue the MVC. So, yeah, I guess it is just that piece. Yeah, because if you go to their website, I mean, yeah, they quote the fact that they're used in Laravel and Symfony and all these other things. So, yeah, that's happening. And again, I think, yeah, goddamn, it's just hard to compete with Symfony and Laravel right now as far as building a business. Like, I think Cake PHP stays very relevant because it established its community. It was very responsive to its community, and the community was very important to Cake PHP. And I think Cake PHP is still very relevant in Cake PHP circles, right? I don't think you see a lot of new onboarding onto the Cake PHP framework because I think Laravel has kind of filled that niche. But yeah, it's, the frameworks now are so good. It's like, do we really need another one? I don't think we do.
Yeah. So this is just the MVC part of it and nobody's doing model view controller like we used to. It's all middleware. It's especially with like PSR 15, 7 and 15, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your request and response interfaces. So Mezio is, I guess, what people are switching to, which sounds like it's literally just that.
One size fits all.
There is no one size fits all.
Not according to Mezio. Yeah, there's that. Okay. Let's talk about this real fast. Let me pull this up. Since we were talking about managing servers and stuff earlier. I'll accept the cookies. I'm just curious how you feel about this. Who doesn't know sudo, right? Sudo? Is that how you say it? Sudo?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm making sure because I've been known to say things incorrectly.
Sudo make me a sandwich.
Apparently, Ubuntu 2.10 is going to replace sudo with a Rust-based equivalent, sudo rs. I'm not sure why, except for the fact that things are just moving to Rust solutions in general, because sudo's doesn't do a lot, right? It just
right.
There's not like a lot of switches you throw with sudo. There's a couple, but not that many, if you want. So I'm not really sure what justified bringing in a replacement, but everything's moving to Rust. It says memory safe guarantees, blah blah blah. How do you feel about this? Will you ever not be a sudo guy?
I'm now being corrected. It's sudo. Super user do, which makes sense.
Well, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it?
It does.
Sudo.
Sudo.
Damn, I have too many years of saying sudo.
Yeah, me too. I'm not changing it. Sorry, Chris. Yeah. You don't need sudo if you just do everything as root. Make it easy.
You just log in as root. You're fine.
Yeah.
Nothing can go wrong.
Don't listen to anybody else. I'm assuming this drop-in alternative is meant. I saw something about security. I'm sure there are some security issues with sudo, but still, after this long, there's still.
The only way I switch to this is if I create an alias
Of course.
Yeah, things are changing, John.
If you
Things are
fear
changing.
change, all is not lost.
The kids are taking over.
Yep.
Here's another thing that makes me realize how old I'm getting in this industry. Have you heard of warp?
Heard of what?
Warp, the terminal warp.
Yeah.
I am.
I don't use it, but
I have a very ingrained terminal workflow with my tmux and my command line. I'll bounce around between terminal emulators. My latest that I've been working with has been Ghost. I've used Kitty. I've obviously used iTerm. I've used the regular, terminal that bakes in. Because of my workflow, like the reason I'll switch to some of these because they have support for like images and stuff, right? Or that's one of the bigger reasons why I switched over to Kitty and now Ghost. But this one, this is how I felt when I first saw PHP Storm. So this is a terminal in the most simplistic form of the word terminal. It drives me crazy. I can't use it because it's got this whole development workflow built into it now, where you interact with AI models, and it even has like it's not an IDE, but it has like a code editor. It's showing up a little bit on screen now if you're watching the live show. Like it's called the Agentic development. Agentic. And if you watch the video, it's like very cool. Like it's like, okay, that looks nice. And then I try to do anything in warp and I can't do it, man. I'm an old man, John. I don't understand. Yeah, I'm curious if anybody's actually using this. Anybody I know, like if you let us know in the comments if you're listening to this later, or if you're in Discord now, if this is something you use and you find productive. I would be curious to find out how you're using it and why you find it productive. This I can totally see, again, somebody who is a GUI person who is used to using things like PHP Storm and all the GUI stuff, this kind of being their gateway into terminals, because it's like it's more of a AI interface, depending on how you use it, right? So I can definitely see them using this, but I can't get my head around it, and I don't know if I would ever be productive with it. Although I felt that way with PHP Storm. I remember when I first saw PHP Storm, I'm like, there's just too much shit on here. Like I can't. There's just like I don't need 90% of this stuff on here. It's cruff and it's in my way and it's slowing me down. And eventually I got a workflow that worked for me, and but yeah, man, I can't keep up with these kids, these development kids these days, and their AI tools, man. I can't do it. I'm not that person.
That I don't think I have that link. I'm gonna go find that. Read something today about AI tools, and if you're a business using AI tools and you're signing like a 1-year agreement, you're doing it wrong. Lots of businesses will buy something on a year contract to say, I'm going to use this for a year because you get better pricing. You want to know what your costs are going to be over the course of a year and whatever. But when it comes to AI, the landscape is shifting so fast that you shouldn't be necessarily stuck in any one area for a year.
Interesting.
Especially when it comes to development tools.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good discussion around that. I know where that was. I'll go find it now. Oh. Copyright. Oh, not there. This one. Paste it here. All right. It's a LinkedIn link.
Okay.
You wanted to share that.
Where'd you put it in Trello?
It's in Trello. Yep, at the bottom of the list.
Oh, I see it now.
It was really just not a lot there, just interesting thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yep.
That's the wrong screen. I wanted to do this one. Boop, boop,
And
boop.
and I think I shared the wrong thing anyway, so ignore that.
Ignore it.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it was this link. I'm terrible at this.
This is why we don't get paid to do this, John.
There you go. All right.
What's
It'll be in the show notes.
okay?
It's the Jimmy Jacobson one.
All right, so I'm going to share this next one. Before we go through it, though, it's quirks and gotchas in PHP. I came across this. I read it. I'm like, nah, it's an all right little write up, but I'm curious. Before we get into this article, without reading it, in Discord, feel free to participate. If you had to talk to somebody and try to convince them to be a PHP developer, and you had to tell them, oh, there's this weird thing about PHP, what would that weird thing be?
What is it? I don't know. Weird.
I mean, I guess it would be better if you were coming from a language where you would say, you know how Ruby we do it this way, well in PHP you do it that way. But I don't really see that as quirks or gotchas. Like a quirk or gotcha is like, I would not have thought any language would work this way.
I think the biggest one, and they're trying to deal with that, is like the array functions, and some functions are key value and others are value key or whatever.
Needle, haystack.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I keep looking for it. I can't find the video. Rasmus explains it. He's like, it's not that confusing. And I don't remember the breakdown exactly, but one of them is when it's dealing with strings. The other is when it's dealing with arrays or something. Like when he says it, it's like, oh God, that is so simple to understand. And then of course I forget it. But yeah, that's always the thing that comes to my head, because I do know it can be frustrating. Like it just like, why isn't it just one way? There was reasoning behind it. I don't remember that. If anybody knows that video I'm talking about and can point me to it, I would love to find it. I go back and watch Rasmus's talks over and over again in hopes that, oh, this is the one where he explains the difference between needle, haystack, needle. So yeah, I do think that would probably be the one I would bring up. All right. So this one was on this.co. Yeah, let me share it.
Yeah.
Share it,
it turns out all string functions use haystack needle, such as string, str, and all array functions use needle haystack.
And what's the justification? Does it say the justification?
It doesn't say justification, other than for string functions, you're doing something with an array, and you're looking for not an array. You're doing haystack needle. So in this string, I'm looking for this piece of a string. Mm-hmm. Whereas for an array, in this array, I am looking for
this needle.
Or in this needle, I'm looking for this needle in this array. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It seems weird.
Yeah, it seems weird. Okay. So this comes from Jan Kaiser.
Before you share it, Chris Miller says, the most confusing one for me is the non-strict mode. If I type something, it still tries to cast it, and it's caught me out more than once.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's good. There's something else like that for me that catches me every time. I can't think of it right now. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Chris. Yeah, there's something else like that for me that every time I do it, I'm like, God, I do that wrong every time. and I can't remember what it is. Dang it. All right. Okay, so this one, this one, well, let me zoom out a little bit here. There we go. And he, coming from a JavaScript background, you likely be familiar with the famous course, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the biggest one he gets into is loose comparisons. And I mean, I get it. This is like one of those things like, yeah, maybe if you're coming from another language, this doesn't make sense. But like after coding long enough in PHP, like, no, it does make sense. Like, I don't understand. He goes on about loose comparisons for a long time. He does the equal, and equals, the difference between those, difference between comparing a number to a string that's a number and all that. All these things that we've dealt with in the past. And it's like, all right, I guess that could be a gotcha. Again, depending on what language you're coming from, I could definitely see this could be a real ache, but I don't know. It's easy enough to overcome. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
And if you're still doing loose comparison, or if you're still not using strictness, like declaring strict types, yeah, you're doing things like we did 20 years ago. We've improved since then. We've gotten better. Most people aren't doing this anymore.
Right. I always say this word wrong. What's this word?
Precedence.
Operator precedence and
associativity.
Yeah, associativity, which I wasn't even sure what that meant. And then he gets down in this one, I think could get people on how PHP handles when to perform like mathematical operations as opposed to not. And so I think this is like a valid one. It's like, okay, I can definitely see this being a problem.
If you need your code to add 1 and 2 for you, you're doing it right. Well, doing math when you're outputting something though? I don't know. That's a weird one.
This one I didn't know about. Variables, and variable functions.
I've used those a lot.
Have you used this? I looked at when I read this, I'm like, that actually seems like that could be useful. Like, you've used this before then, huh?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Discord. Have you ever used this where the example they give you is a $, variable name, and then it equals hello?
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I guess I have used it like that. Yeah.
Okay. Then it does a $, variable name equals world. And what that does, it creates the variable hello with the which equals world. And it's like, that actually seems functional. Like, I don't know if it's good practice to use it, but I kind of want to use it now.
It's
you
not.
Can't stop me.
Yeah, I've done it in the past, like to get around some things. I can't remember what it was, but all in all, it's bad practice. Like, it's going to be a pain in the ass for your IDE to keep up with you, probably.
Oh yeah, 100%. And how would you even look at that? Like, that would be so easy to miss.
Variable functions, I do, and I think I still have code around that.
Variable functions?
Yeah, the next one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think that's so crazy. But this, what do you even call this? Is this variables? Is that what this is called?
Yeah.
What? Like, like, how do you even code review this? This is crazy.
You do it when you're working by yourself.
That's true. I kind of want to do it just to piss people off now. That's a good idea. Passing variables by reference, yes. This could be a gotcha for sure, I guess. I don't pass variables by reference much, do you?
Not anymore.
Again, I feel like this is something we used to do back in the day a lot.
Yeah. there's still some code that I use that has it, but very rarely do I do that anymore.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say very rarely. I don't do it anymore. It's only when I'm interacting with code that needs it, but I think we've gotten rid of most of that at this point.
And this last one, array handling, I don't even understand. I mean, again, we're back to like the arrays can be strings or can be variables, it can be booleans, the key,
keys.
yeah, okay, whatever.
That's
This one
because
here, it's like, okay, what did you think was coming? You don't have a third spot on your array. It's an array of 0, so
but that's the they would expect it to throw an exception.
they would expect it to throw. Okay, so we throw a null.
We say it's null. They were like, that should be like an array offset exception.
Oh, okay.
It's the fact that in PHP an array is everything versus it's not really a dictionary. It's not a hash map. It's like,
right.
It can be used as so many things.
That's true. Yeah. I like how I like how we do arrays. That was one of the things with Python for me when I first started doing Python, and they had you said one, dictionaries,
hash maps,
and there's another one. They have 3. I forget what the third one is. And I'm like, why do you have? They're all arrays. Like, why do you guys call them different things?
Obviously, you haven't watched Larry Garfield's Never Use Arrays talk on PHPtech.tv.
I have not.
If you love arrays so much,
I do love arrays. Yeah. Checking for variable truthiness. Yeah, this is another one. Like, I guess this is one. Is empty. Empty is set. I guess that could be a gotcha for sure. Yeah, I support this one. Like, something is.
What do you mean? As far as what?
Something could be set but not empty, right? So it's or something could be. Did I say that right? Something could be set. Is set.
It says it right there.
Variable
is set and not empty.
Right. So it's. I don't know. I think this is just learning enough.
That's I don't like that one.
You don't like that one? Is set and empty?
Yeah, I mean, because a variable could be 0. Like, why do you have to? I don't understand. Is that really a gotcha?
I mean,
you might expect empty to return true for undefined variables too, but they don't.
You would say that again. You would expect empty to.
They're saying empty should return true. If you said is empty $error, which has never been set, it's going to throw in a notice, but it's not going to return true.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I think PHP does a good job.
Does. If you're using it right, I mean, any language is going to have these types of things in it,
right?
Gotchas. But if you're using today's best practices, you're not going to run into most of those.
Right.
You're going to use declare strict types, type hint on your variables, use an IDE that is watching, or use something like PHP stand, some sort of static analysis, and you're not going to run into almost any of those.
That's true. I gotta get back. I think was it PHP Tech TV that I saw a talk on the PHP stand? I just recently saw a talk on PHP stand. I'm like, God, I've got to start using that again. PHP Tech.tv. If you're not familiar what the address is, we are on there streaming live. Let me shut. Boom. Boom. Oh, I'm not logged in. I need to log in. What do you think about changing this login, John?
Let's do it, please.
You don't like it?
No.
Well, you have a back door. You can log. Yeah, you can log in through the admin section, and it still recognizes you on the front end. Did you not know that?
I every time I end up at that login page, I guess I don't know the password for it. So then I just come back here and I
Oh, you just come back here. You go the other way.
yeah.
See, boom.
I'll go. I'll
I'm
go.
gonna log this in the back end. What do you mean it's expired? It's just there. So
I
this
get
is our
that. I get that.
back-end.
The Laravel site I maintain for my wife's running club at elementary school.
Mhm.
Every time they log in, they get the 419.
It's
And
it's a live wire issue. I must be doing something wrong.
It's driving me crazy because I can't figure it out.
All right, so we go to talks. We go to 2025. We need to change this interface. This is horrible. I can't stand it every time I look at it. I don't know what I need it to look like, but it's not. This ain't doing it for me. Yeah, I saw you talk in Discord. I guess we're a few talk shy still.
Yep. I think I have 2 edited that I haven't uploaded. I got it done, and then I was remote and couldn't upload over my tethered to my phone, or it would have taken days.
Yeah.
So I need to get that process started. And then I think there's a couple more in the other rooms, and I don't have those pulled down locally to edit. So
Yeah, I think in the other, I think the only other room we have is Padres, I think, or no, not Padres. Rove. I think it's Rove.
Yeah.
I think we only have like a half a day on Rove. Maybe it's a full day. I don't remember. But yeah, we've got a lot of them done. So yeah. And
I feel like Kobe 24, you know
quiet. So I need to I think this year we're gonna roll a couple out on our YouTube channel. We're gonna mark a few free, so when you come in here, I think we have a few free from the past few years. So like when you log in, I think you can see which ones are free and which ones you have to be logged in for. And thanks to John, it does track which ones you have watched now. So
I don't know that we show that anywhere though yet, do we?
I thought we did. Let me look at last year's. Yeah, completed. That's what this little mark is right here.
Oh.
It says completed. It's hard to see here, but that says completed. It means I've watched the whole thing. Of course, it's the NeoVim one. It was the one that I watched completely.
Well, now it's probably reset. So if you refresh the page, it's probably gone.
No. It doesn't reset. It stays.
I updated this page recently too.
This page?
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but so we're now using keys for you to be able to watch the.
Oh, right. We are now. Yeah.
Right. Well, to do that on this page, I was making API requests. This page got really slow as we added more videos because every time you loaded it, it was like, "Hey, tell me more about this video. Like, do I need to get a key for this, or like how is it working?" So I finally cached that data, sped it up dramatically.
Yeah. That's good work, man. I need to my biggest gripe here right now is like when you're in a video, and I have this more videos for PHP Tech 2025, but I'm like, why did I not make this clickable? Like, why can't I click? I go here and click that all the time. Like, this should take me back to that damn thing. But yeah, I need to fix this. I was so happy with when I got this done a couple of years ago because it was like Tailwind and all. I'm like, oh, I love this.
It's so much better than nothing, right? And then
I don't know about that, man. Nothing might be better. I think I want bigger boxes now. Like I want more of like what we have on the blog, like these boxes here. I think I want something like this and just have the GIF playing in here. It's like if you're not logged in, so if I log out, and then I go to here, so you can still drill into the talks, but because I'm not logged in, this is just like a GIF. It just happened to be the beginning of this video, but it won't play. So it randomly picks a time and creates a gift of the talk. Why are all the gifts the beginning of the talk? I wonder if that's broken. Yeah, that must be broken now. It used to generate like a random point in the talk and create a gift from it. So I don't know. That's interesting. I wonder if it's doing that for all of them now. I'm going to take a quick peek. Randomly pick one. Ooh. Yeah. So see how this is like this really bad GIF, but you kind of see a talk going on. That's how it should be working. I don't know why this year didn't do that. See, all these are right. That's weird. I'll have to check that out and see why that happened. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is going to stick around, so we should probably put some effort into it now. But yeah, you can still technically buy a ticket for this if you're curious about watching the virtual stream. And we're almost done uploading the talks, so we have a few more to go.
I guess we don't have where you can buy ticket or buy subscriptions through
Oh,
here.
look, this one worked. Oh, that's so weird. Actually, it's right here. Perks Virtual Pass right there. I don't know if it's loading. Yeah, it is loading. We need to end all these sales so just this one shows up.
Yeah, good idea.
But yeah.
All right.
But we're gonna make a few of these free. Like I said, we'll get a few of them moved over to YouTube so you don't have to come here to watch them. But yeah, that's happening. We're almost done with PHP Tech 2025 is almost fully in the books now. Getting close. Getting close, man. All right.
That's cleaned up. Those are no longer there.
What's no longer where?
Those other tickets.
Oh, look at you.
Handled. Fixed it.
Happen. Making it happen just like that. Look at that. Boom. Maybe we should make that a perk of a year subscription. If you buy a year subscription to the magazine. I don't know, man. I like giving it away.
Yes, you do. Chris, is the CFP open? Technically no, but there's a link we could open it.
It really does benefit you no way to submit a talk right now, but
no, but I thought about that. Is there any reason not to just leave it open and say, hey, it's open until such and such date? Like, the whole purpose for having it in a short time frame is trying to encourage you to get it done so you don't procrastinate.
That's true.
But is there any reason not to just open it up now and say, hey, it's open if you want to mark this off your to-do list and say it's submitted?
I guess not. I mean, God, I would be much more inclined if the service we use didn't just get hounded by bots. I really wish they have a way to filter out the bots.
I'll try and do a better job this year of watching for those and automatically rejecting them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You want to put it in Trello board? I'll put it in the show notes.
Alrighty, let me go edit.
We do reserve the right to, I don't know, change the questions and make you go back and answer some of them if we do, but I don't know. I feel like we have it locked in. Yeah, I guess there's no reason not to open it up. You guys want?
I guess I have to pick that. Currently have it going through end of October, but maybe we'll change that. I don't know. Dates aren't set in stone. I guess technically it's open now.
Oh, is the date set in stone?
No, I'm saying for the call for speakers, the CFP.
No, but for the conference, is it set in stone for the conference?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we'd sign that before Tech this year.
Okay. All right.
All right. Copy link address. Throw it in Trello. Whoops, not how I wanted to do that. Wanted to go that way. Guess I should go look over here. Yep. Keep in mind, this being done live, this hasn't been tested, so
No,
the links
it has not been tested at all.
the links there you should be able to submit.
Yeah, and as far as let's see, that'll be 2026, and as far as 2027 goes, I don't know. John and I are still talking about some ideas we have. So 2027 might be a real shakeup. We haven't really decided on that yet, but 2026 basically going to be status quo. We're going to be the same venue around the same time. Third week of May, is that what it is?
Yep, 19th through the 21st.
19th through the 21st.
May 26th.
Same. I mean, not same, but like still 3 tracks. All that will probably will be 2026, and then like I said, 2027. I don't know. I feel like we need to shake something up, man. We've done the same thing a few years now. Want something different.
You want something different. Others don't.
Meaning you. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes. All right. Call for papers. Officially open. Officially, unofficially open.
Don't know why, but it is. So.
Dude,
submit
my God,
early.
you don't even have the right banner on it. How in the world are people supposed to have any trust in you?
I told you it's not. I didn't have it. Go give me one. I'll get it updated.
I'll have to. Look at that. Look at the shoddy workmanship I'm dealing with. See, people, this is what I'm dealing with now. Look at this. How am I supposed to submit a talk for this and see this and then see this and then see this? I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, why does it say 2025?
Because that's when it opened today. You just
Oh, yeah. The event is over on the left.
Yeah. The event's over here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Killing me,
Smalls.
All right.
All these logins. Yeah, I need to change the login system on PHP Tech TV. And, yeah, I definitely think I need to do that. Although, I don't know, man. Even if I change the login system, I still might do that whole, hey, we sent a code to your email address. Because, I mean, that's like how we prevent people from, like, sharing, you know.
Well, you're not preventing it doing that either. If they're sharing it, they're going to say, hey, I just logged in. Go give me the code. That's not doing anything.
I mean, I guess if you're logging in, if I make you log in with one of your socials, like Google or Facebook or X, I guess that would actually be better, right? Because
you're not going to share that.
You'd be less inclined to share that. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Socialite, here we come. Use a little socialite.
But now you're forcing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could still have it so we can email you the magic link if you don't want to. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have time for this stuff. I got other things. I got a house I'm trying to put back together.
All right, we're deep in. Let's wrap her up.
Yeah, you wrap it up. All right. I think that's it. Anything else?
See, A Woods agrees with me. Hates magic login links.
The biggest issue with the magic login links are company servers that are doing their job to make sure that people aren't going to bad websites. It has a tendency to click on the link and expire the token, and then by the time it gets to the person it's meant for, the token has already been used. So, yeah, I don't care. We'll figure it out. We'll do something, probably social. All right, that's it. Anything else, John?
That's it. Got more stuff to talk about next week.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Bye.
This has been PHP Podcast, the official podcast of PHP Architect, the industry's leading tech magazine and publisher, focused on PHP and web development. Subscribe today at phparch.com to see what the leaders in the community and industry are talking about.